Hello again and welcome to my channel. Today I am filming a video to give you a little more information on how I chose my school, Binghamton University, and how you can find out information about all the social work schools that are out there and how to narrow down your choices based on tuition, whether it's online, in person, hybrid, and so forth, in order for you to make your decision on which school you want to attend. So that's what I'm doing today in this video. So I'm screencasting my screen to give you the information that you need. Anyway, so you can see here, I pulled all this information from my notes. I used to keep a long list of notes when I was doing research on which school I wanted to go to before I chose something. Anyway, so let's get started. So this is my MSW information. So it's basically a dump of anything I want to remember regarding social work. Um, so before I started looking for schools, I looked at a lot of scholarships in my area to see if any one of them was able to cover my tuition fully or partially or anything like that. So one of the things that were being offered in my state, New York City, New York, was the 1199 SEIU scholarship. Um, if you are in New York, you can get this. Go to this website and this is the login information, but if you go to this website, 1199 training and employment, and you log in, you will be able to see information on how to apply for the scholarship. They will pay for anything from any kind of degree: social work, nursing, CNA, HHA, whatever it is that's healthcare related, they'll pay for. So I did apply for the scholarship, but then I changed my mind because they wanted you to finish the program by the year 2027, and my program was a 3.5 year program that would finish in 2028, so I wasn't going to qualify anyway. And then we also had the OMH scholarship, Office of Mental Health, for those who need it. So the OMH scholarship was offered to those who lived in New York State and who was going to attend SUNY. So I figured I qualified. I live in New York. I attend a SUNY school, but I applied and I was so hopeful, but unfortunately I didn't get it. And that's okay. I have a full-time job. I'm just going to use some of the money I make to fund my tuition so that I don't have to take any loans. So I'm grateful for that. But if you have to take loans, that's okay too. You can forget about the social work job after graduation. This is gonna be dependent on the state you're in. Anyway, I'm gonna scroll down to my dump list of schools. There we go. So this dump list, this long list, was the schools that I was looking for or looking at when I was deciding which one to attend. So I looked at National University. They are fully online program, asynchronous, but their tuition was like 800 and something per credit. I'm not sure if it's still the same, but it was very expensive. So I was like, nope. Then I looked at the University of Alabama. I really wanted to pay very, very little, very as little as possible for my degree, because anyone would tell you, any social worker would tell you, when you're starting out in the field, you're not going to be making six figures. And that's just God's honest truth. The first 3 years, while you're getting your clinical license, clinical supervision hours, you're not going to be making a ton. So trying to spend as little as possible is what I was looking for. And so the University of Alabama charges $440 per credit. I thought that was pretty good. That was pretty cheap. So I applied to that too, but I'll tell you why I ultimately chose SUNY Binghamton. They have some asynchronous classes and some synchronous classes. So this University of Alabama. If you want a kind of synchronous and asynchronous, meaning like you have to show up at 5 p.m. every day on Zoom on time with your instructor, that's synchronous. That means you're doing it together. Even if it's online, you're still showing up at the same time on video, on like this, for everybody to see and communicate. I couldn't do synchronous classes because I have a long commute and I don't get back home until like 5 or 5:30 sometimes. And so it was just not gonna work for me to try to like get home and run straight to doing online classes for hours when I have kids to take care of. Anyway, so that's why I ultimately decided not to apply or not to go to Alabama, University of Alabama, even though the per credit hour was very cheap. And then I looked into Eastern University. I absolutely love Eastern University. It's in Pennsylvania. I applied for this program as well. It is 480 per credit, which I thought was very reasonable. And they have 7-week courses. 7-week courses. You have to take 2 courses at a time, and it's all asynchronous. So if you're really trying to do this as fast as possible to get it done, this is the university for you. They do have placements available. They help you. They walk you through it. But it's not really done for you. I should change that. Like, they reach out to the organization in your area, but you have to apply to those organizations. You have to do the interviews. You have to do the legwork to get yourself into that internship. So it's not particularly all done for you. I thought they had a part-time option, but when I did their interview, I was told that really it's just full-time. It's a full-time program because it's all 7-week classes. So I need to update that. But they do allow you to have like a weekend placement and no part-time placement. Let me remove that. But they do allow you to have weekend placement. That I liked. So if you can only do a weekend class, a weekend internship, like Saturday, Sunday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you can bunch all the hours into those 3 days to get it done. And like I said, the classes are asynchronous. So I will make a list because it looks weird like this right now. So that way all the information regarding that, because the way I wrote it was kind of a mess. Okay, so the other one that I looked at, sorry I'm stretching, I'm just really tired. The other one I looked at was LSU, Louisiana State University. A lot of people like LSU. They have a Facebook group for everyone that goes there. They share resources, they share textbooks, help with homework and whatever else that you need. Is very good. I joined the group even though I didn't apply to the college, so I still kind of ask questions even though I don't go to their school. So you can join on Facebook. So LSU. They also have a 7-week course length. I forgot what their per credit hours was. I think it was like maybe 550. I'm not sure. The reason I really like LSU is they have 3 different progress options for the degrees. You can go really, really fast and get it all done in 16 months, sorry. Or you can go part-time and take your time and do it in like 3 years. Or you can go full-time and do it in 2 years. So you can go super fast, medium fast, or regular pace. And it's all 7-week courses as well. I do know that they don't have the best reputation, so I didn't want to go applying and spending money to go to LSU when the school did not have the best reputation. But people still apply and they do just fine. If this is what you like, and if you live in Louisiana, this might be an option for you. If you live in New York City, another option to consider is Stony Brook, Roberts Wesleyan, and Keuka College. I can't pronounce that word. Keuka College. Keuka was too expensive for me, and this is their per credit hour, so I didn't go. Roberts Wesleyan was a total of like 55,000 for the whole degree. I did apply, but then I turned them down last minute because they wanted their classes are all synchronous. Once again, you have to be on Zoom at a particular time every twice a week or 3 times a week, depending on your course length. And I thought that was too much for me, so I ended up not going to Robert Wesleyan. So that would be number 5. This would be number 6. But I really liked the admission person. She was very nice. She walked me through every step. I was accepted in like less than 2 days after submitting all the required documents. It wasn't very hard to get in. The only reason I didn't go was it was a little expensive and it was all synchronous. One thing I will say about Roberts Wesleyan is if you like synchronous, they allow you to do block placements. That means when your internship hour comes, instead of spreading it out throughout a whole year for people who don't have time to do long internship for a year because you have a full-time job, you have kids, you have life, they allow you to do May internships all squished into May, June, and July, I think. May, June, July, so 3 months. But it has to be 40 hours a week and full-time. The reason I couldn't do that is because as a teacher, my school year ends on June 26th. So there was no way I was going to leave school in May, take 2 months off, and then go do my internship. It's just not going to work as a teacher, you know? So I couldn't do that. So I had to ultimately turn them down. And then we have this one that a lot of people love. I have heard so many nice things about Western New Mexico University. I didn't end up looking into them too much. They're very cheap, small cohorts, online classes. But I don't know, by the time I got to this list down here, I think I already made my choice to stick with a New York-based school. But if you want to keep going on your research, definitely consider Western New Mexico University. A ton of people on my Facebook group, in my Facebook group, have talked about them in very positive light. University of New England, I didn't check. I don't know much about, but it was on my list. Oklahoma University was $6.25 per credit. I thought it was reasonable. Campbellsville is also cheap, $6.03 per credit. I also applied to Campbellsville as well, but they just rubbed me off the wrong way. I don't know. They were not very responsive to my questions. The person I would speak to on the phone was just disinterested. Like they didn't want someone to apply to their school. I don't know. It was just weird vibes. So ultimately I decided not to waste my money on a school that wouldn't give me straight answers. Campbellsville does have 8-week course lengths if that's something you're looking for. Short course lengths. They have 3 start dates in June, November, and March. So if you want to apply to schools and the fall semester has already began, you can also apply to start in November. So that's kind of nice. Their field placement starts in the first year like most schools. And that's basically all of that for Campbellsville. Then we have the University of Montana. That was very cheap too, $600 per credit. And I didn't end up applying to it. There was a reason, I don't remember what. They didn't let me apply unless I had relevant experience related to social work. And I was like, I'm not even going to bother explaining myself to you. So I didn't apply. Aurora University Also a little cheap, 618 per credit, which is good. I wanted to keep my per credit rate between 630 and below. The cheaper the better. I think there was one that was 440 a credit. Oh yeah, Eastern University and University of Alabama, 440 and 480. Those were the cheapest ones. Um, Aurora has. Sorry about this, my friends. Aurora has 8-week course lengths. Um, and that was basically all I know about them. I didn't really research them that well. Boise has 500 per credit. Boise University also very cheap if you're looking for that option. They have a part-time option, which I really needed. Uh, they also do their field placement in the first year. And the last option that I looked at, number 15, was the University of Utah, 600 per credit. That was a long list. But ultimately, I chose to go with Binghamton University. They're not even on this list. But anyway, I applied to SUNY Binghamton, SUNY Buffalo, and SUNY Albany. I was accepted at all three SUNY schools because I applied to them because they were all online, all asynchronous, and didn't give me crazy requirements. And it was also SUNY, and in-state schools are cheaper than out-of-state schools. I figured that staying in a New York-based school, a school in my state, would allow me an easier pathway into getting my last licensed master social worker after graduation, because I wouldn't have to jump through hoops. I don't know. That was my reasoning anyway. And it was also going to be cheaper to be in state than out of state. So eventually I had to turn down all of the out of state schools that I applied to and stick to my in state school. I chose Binghamton because it has a good reputation. Their program was relatively new, 3 years old, so they're not jaded. They're still figuring things out, and they really are determined to get people to succeed. That was a lot of talking. Anyway, if I did not cover everything that you need in this screen sharing video, let me know in the comments. If you liked anything that I mentioned, let me know in the comments. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Just give me a thumbs up for the algorithm's sake, so that YouTube continues to push my videos to those who it needs to reach. I really appreciate everything that you guys have done supporting my channel. So see you next time.